there's never going to be a woman Navy SEAL. And everyone was like, and I wanted to be clear. Do I think it's okay for women to try to become Navy SEAls and Green Berets and CCTs and Raiders and you know, just you name it? Sure, I actually do think that it's okay. Yeah, and you know, everyone wants to make that argument. Well, don't drop the standards, and they're going to push women through for political reasons and all this stuff. Sure, the standards should be the same, and I think there's women out there who could do it. There are definitely women out there, lots of them, who outperform men physically, mentally, everything. Not all men are superior to all women. And some women are just mega athletes, super smart, driven, motivated. Many are. And they have everything it takes to get through training. They're tough physically and mentally, and they could do it. Here's why I think there will never be a woman Navy SEAL, even though now women are eligible to go. They're eligible to go train. There's a female liaison at BUD/S. I think I know who it is. And there's this whole program in place to get women into BUD/S, and women even have gone to try. And I actually met one of the girls who went to try. I met a girl, female sailor, officer, who went to BUD/S to try. And she didn't make it, but, you know what they say, the man in the arena, right? The man or woman in the arena. It's all about the person who went and gave it their best shot, who tried. I never talked down to. I never looked down on. I never talked down to. Go back and listen to the episode with Keith and Jason about failing BUD/S. Now, let's see what's going on in the chat. James Levinson says, you're looking for bad press about the military. You always find it true. Scat says, to any woman who wants to be a Navy SEAL, I'd suggest Coast Guard, MSRT, or any of the other MES. Nikki MGTV, what's up, dude? Welcome to the chat. Rachel, we always have negative press. It just depends on how mainstream it is. Rachel, thank you guys for the input. Yep. So, Nikki, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for dropping by. But here's why, even with the opportunities, abound to go try, no barriers for gender to go try to train. Here's why, and with the standards all being the same and all of that, here's why I don't think there will be a female Navy SEAL. I did some research before the show because there is a female Green Beret now. And unfortunately, we had to do that story on her on Monday. Go back and listen to that one. There are approximately 15,000 active duty Green Berets and a lot more in the reserves. Well, not a lot more than 15,000, but there's an additional reserve Green Beret force. There are approximately 2,000 Navy SEALs active duty. So there's 15,000 Green Berets active duty, 2,000 Navy SEALs, a 7 times multiplier there. 7 times more Green Berets than SEALs. There are far fewer SEAL reserves. Also, there's 2 SEAL reserve teams. There's a bunch of Army Green Beret teams in the reserves, National Guard. So here's the thing. Here's what I think it comes down to for the females and the SEALs. You guys know I love female veterans. I support female veterans. My wife is in the Navy. She's active duty. She's my hero. Like, she is hardcore, fitter than me, smarter than me, everything. A woman will never be a Navy SEAL because it's already so hard to become a Navy SEAL, right? It's already so hard. There's already so few people who do. And there's not that many women trying. So if there's a 85% attrition rate and thousands of men every year try, and only a few women ever do, you have to get the right woman in there. And then she has to make it and not get hurt. There's just not enough people trying. And in the Navy, there are people in the chat right now who know me, and we've worked together in the Navy. So if you can think of somebody, let me know. I never met a woman in the Navy who legit wanted to go to BUD/S. There's these hearings in Congress. There's these giant conversations going on. They're dumping money from every direction into getting females into special forces. Who are these females who want to go? Where are they? I was in the Navy for almost 14 years. I never met a girl who seriously, legitimately wanted to go and felt like she, couldn't go. It was a big deal that she couldn't go. That if she could, she would, and train and all this stuff. And then out of the people who talked about it, I didn't see anybody who looked like they could actually do it. So if girls were talking like girls should be able to go to buds and train to be SEALs, I didn't see one who was actually like super fit the way that I've seen, people train for selection for buds. I never saw it. So Levinson's saying resurrection, but I don't, in the time that I knew her, I didn't see her, working out like that, like training. Like I didn't see her as great person, good sailor. I didn't see her as like a super athlete or anything like that could do it. Maybe I'm not remembering it correctly. I never I never met a girl who really wanted to go, even if they could have, who legit wanted to do it. And I heard a retired SEAL Master Chief giving a speech that if you want to graduate buds, you have to want it more than you have to breathe, he said. You have to want to graduate buds more than you want the next breath of air. Okay? And literally, you have to literally go underwater and stay there past the time that you should have come up for air. Okay? It's no joke. So now out of all of the men who fail, men who fail, women now have failed too. There's been women who went and they for one reason or another fail. I'm not saying fail is a negative thing, just as a fact of the matter. You need so many people to try to get down to the right people. You need the floodgates to open and people to come in. And then out of that, only a few make it. So it would take thousands and thousands of women who legitimately, no joke, train and want to be there more than they want to breathe for a few to make it. And that just doesn't exist, at least to me. I mean, I'm open to it. Like, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about females in combat here in a minute, but where is the selection group? Like, who is Congress fighting for? Like, when they go up there and do these hearings for females, where's the line of women waiting to go to selection? Has anyone ever seen that? Does it exist? So, and I'm all for making it available, making it accessible. Women are already in combat. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But, like, who's the population group that we're representing here? I've never met anybody. Let's see. Let's catch up on the chat here real quick. Nikki says, I've never met any female that was upset she couldn't go. Yeah, me either. Scott, buds is an individual effort within a team environment. If the rest of the buds class doesn't want her to win, there will be no win. That's true too. But let's assume all things being equal and they do want her there. Let's assume no gender bias. Okay, that's where I'm going with this. Even forgetting that. Okay, because that's definitely a thing. Even forgetting gender bias and discrimination and all this stuff, there's still no population of candidates. And that's why I don't think there will ever be a female Navy SEAL. I can't see it happening because there's nobody trying. So even with all the work that the Navy put in, even with all the work that the military put in to get women into special forces, no one's trying. Relatively no one. You know what? No one compared to men. And it's been years. I remember having this conversation in Afghanistan in 2014. That's when I remember that being like the beginning of like the real effort to get women into selection. Building barracks, building liaison programs, female integration programs, making the arrangements, making all spaces compatible with heads and all this stuff and rooms and all these things, gear. That was 7 years ago. I'm talking January 2014. I'm talking 7 years ago in Afghanistan deployment with Green Berets, Air Force Special Forces, SEALs, all having this conversation together. And all of them talking about how all the different branches were called into the government, being questioned, why shouldn't a woman go? Why shouldn't a woman go? All of their responses being shot down and just, get out of here with that. We don't care about that. We don't care about that. People saying stupid things like, well, they, have menstruation cycles and they have special needs and all this stuff. And all these well, other countries don't take women seriously, so why would you have them? Forget, that's all garbage. That's all BS. I actually think that's all BS. Now, I said I was going to talk about women in combat already. Do me a favor. If you're in this chat right now and you don't know who Shannon Kent is, you need to look up Shannon Kent. Look up Navy Chief Shannon Kent, American hero. I'm going to prepare a whole episode on her. I'm going to try to get somebody on the show as an interview. Hero, like the gold standard to what any military member should hope to achieve. Like a badass. Forget about gender. Just a hero. An American hero. Okay? Now, She deployed with SEALs. Now, what did Rachel say? I wonder if it's beneficial to have women in SF. I'm so glad, Rachel, that you just said that. I'm so glad because it's majorly beneficial to have women in SF and Navy SEALs. They just aren't classified as SF and Navy SEALs. There are already these things called female engagement teams, cultural engagement teams, where women deploy overseas with Special Forces, with Navy SEALs, and go out on missions with them to work with local populations. This is already a thing. This happens all the time. Go back a year and a half ago to an episode I did with the San Diego Women's Veteran Network and listen to Colleen talk about being a radioman in the infantry platoon, being blown up by an ID, being in combat in Iraq with men. Women can, before this whole women in combat, women in special forces thing, they already were and not getting any credit for it. There's already a whole world of female veterans out there who are already not getting credit for what they're doing. Like, why aren't we talking about that? I talk about that on the show all the time. There are all these female veterans who are out there who are putting in the work, who are in combat, who are in harm's way, who are dying alongside men in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Syria, in Africa, and we don't even talk about that. And so we ignore that. We ignore that. Put it in a box. Ignore it. Put it in the trunk. Put it under the bed. We need women Navy SEALs. That's what we need. It's the only way we can get women in the fight. Like, that is a totally bogus argument. Totally bogus. It doesn't even start from a genuine place with a good intent to fix the problem. I think we need to go and look at the impact females are already making. Female medics, Army medics, Navy medics, female doctors, the difference between like an enlisted medic and a doctor. Female cultural engagement team members, female pilots. Go watch the Apache Warrior documentary on Netflix. Female pilots. Hang on one second. Let me catch you on the chat. Scad says, I'm pretty sure the Coast Guard has some girls on the CTSF teams. I'll check on that for me, Scad. Post it in the Discord. Scotty says, female interrogators rock booger eaters worlds. Yes. Female interpreters, female interrogators, female intel analysts. Like, this is a thing already. I worked with females when I was a tech. This is already a thing, okay? We need to address that. Rachel says, quite interesting. I'll look into these stories. Perhaps women need more exposure in various platforms. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right now, is we need to get women the credit for what they're already doing in the military. I'm always trying to talk about this. We need to get women the credit that they're already due in the military that they're not getting, for one. Then maybe once the public is educated and the government with their special interests are acknowledging the truth, the reality, then maybe have a conversation about why we need women in special forces, because we already have them there, right? And then go ahead still and open the doors. I'm all for it. Open the doors. Open the doors to women as they should be. And then the problem is, where are the women that we're recruiting from? Right? So I'm just going to go back to what I was saying before. Where are the women that they're recruiting from? Because I don't see the population out there. I mean, prove me wrong. Like, I'm ready. I know there's already a female Green Beret, but I was trying to make the point earlier that there's a 7X Green Berets to SEALs. BUDS is 7 months long, nonstop selection. I think the Q course, only the first 30 days are the physical selection, and the rest is a Q course, which is not easy, but it involves a lot more different courses of instruction than just the initial selection process. It's like the worst 30 days of your life probably, and then you go on to training to try to finish the whole Q course. So the concept of, fighting for females' rights to go to special forces, I'm down with that cause. Pretending like there's tens of thousands of women out there who are striving to be special forces and then actually enlist and then actually go and then finish, that population doesn't exist. If you look at the women who exist out there who have what it takes mentally and physically to graduate BUDS, then you have to recruit them. You know what I mean? Like, you have to recruit them. Then you have to, recruit them, get them to go. Then they have to not quit, and then they have to not get hurt, and then they have to finish, and they have to want all that. And it just doesn't exist. Prove me wrong. Point me in the right direction. But that population doesn't exist. Okay? I think that's all I want to say about that. Scad says, you should do an open mic on Discord where people can join one of the call channels and talk, ask questions. I would do that. Like, we can do that anytime. Let's get more people on the Discord. Let's get people, if you guys listen to the chat and you're on Discord, if you know what Discord is, we have a Discord. Look up the ScuttleButt Show. It's linked in the description down below. If you want to know how to support the channel, the best way right now, there's 2 ways to do it. Patreon, become a patron. I don't even have a patron yet. Go to join Patreon. If you become an elite patron, you get a free t-shirt on your second month. Like, it just makes sense, you guys. Just makes sense. Then invite people to watch the videos with you. I do this live show Sunday through Thursday, 1800 Pacific Standard Time. Invite a friend and come watch the show. If you invite a friend, we get more subscribers, we grow the channel. That's going to be a good way to do it. So those are the best ways to support the channel. Justin says, it's going to be hard to recruit them when all the Fort Hood stories prove the worst stereotypes of the military. Sure. It is hard to recruit women. Hasn't it always been harder to recruit women? Like, I would think, we can get some recruiters on the show. I feel like it's always been harder to recruit women into certain jobs. And a lot of that is due to stereotypes and preconceived notions and representations in the media and the public of what the job is like. Obviously, there's this understanding of the archetype of what the military is. And it's like a masculine dude out there, dipping, partying, drinking, combat, all this stuff. And that exists. It's, the vast majority of like infantry and all that stuff embodies that archetype, strives for it. I did. Like, I was all about it. I loved it. I'm not even saying anything bad about it now. I loved it. I loved trying to live that life. But there's 95% of the military who's not like that. I think like 15% of the military has been in combat, something like that. The vast majority of people in the military don't serve in combat specific MOSs and jobs. It's like there's way more ITs, and just from a Navy perspective, there's way more ITs and boatswain's mates than there are SEALs and SWIC and in FMF corpsmen. Let's see. Scad says, true. I have a buddy who's an officer at Hood, and he was oblivious to half the stories. What? Really? I don't see how that's possible. Levinson says, LOL, let's get Lunchbox in here. He is recruiting where I live. Nice. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments of this video. I'm going to be closing out the video here. Let me guys know what you think in the comments. You can hit me up at the ScuttleButtShow@gmail.com, ScuttleButtShow.com, where you can get the merch and the shirts and all this stuff and the coffee cup and all that good stuff. By the way, I'm in a little bit of trouble today because I went to the little shopette on Kadena, and they're serving Black Rifle coffee there now. So this is my second cup of coffee today. Black Rifle Coffee sponsor me. And he just got out ROTC and into the Cav. Nice. Okay, so he's brand new. He's got a lot on his plate, I'm sure, as a junior officer. So, and then find me on Discord, where the chat's going, the memes are going, all the notifications come in there. Videos will get posted early there. And if you do join the Patreon, you'll get behind-the-scenes access, early access to videos, one-on-one chats with me, customized merch, all this stuff. Patreon. I would love to get a patron for as little as $1 a month, as much as $10 a month at the least. If you come watch this show every day, consider joining the Patreon and supporting this channel to help improve it. All the money that goes from there is going to be all about just maintaining this show. I put a lot of time into it, researching these stories, 5 days a week live on the show. And then invite your friends. Let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. One quick announcement to make that I decided today. When this channel gets to 975 subscribers, I'm going to go live and stay live until we get to 1,000. So it'll be a live stream marathon for the last 25 subscribers, okay? So stay tuned for that. Thank you, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same ScuttleButt time, same ScuttleButt place. I look forward to talking to you then. I'm out for now. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button up in the corner here and check out this next video. If you want, in the description down below, there's links where you can get ScuttleButt Show merch and find out how you can support the channel. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you guys very soon.